Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, music lovers and audiophiles. In this report, I've selected the most noteworthy demonstrations I heard at the recent Munich High-End Audio Show. I hope you enjoy it. Those of you who've heard our other show reports know that there are caveats that should precede these best of show reports. One such caveat is that no one can hear everything or come even close because the shows are big. Very big. The other caveat is that the conditions, especially background noise, vary substantially from hour to hour and room to room. I could go on, but the focus here in this report is on what impressed, not on any absolute ranking. Okay, let's get down to it. First up, we have a perennial favorite, the Linkwitz LX521.4 MG DAC amplifier speaker system. The Linkwitz active full-range dipole system rendered the spatial presentation of well-recorded music in a more convincingly real way than almost any other two-channel product at Munich, and certainly better than any multi-channel system would. Linkwitz got the sound off the speakers. They presented the performers on a wide and deep stage, and the performers were placed in a believable way. Now, maybe you've heard that said about stereo before, but I would strongly advise hearing what the Linkwitz system can do to calibrate your understanding of the possible, because the LX521 goes beyond what you're probably familiar with. Linkwitz also uses a cone dipole bass system that, in my listening, seemed less altered by room issues than typical speakers. That Linkwitz can do all of this for about $26,000 US, including amplifiers, DACs, and cables, is, frankly, stunning. Next up, we've got the Borison C3 speakers with the AVIC U588 Streamer DAC amplifier. You may remember that I covered the C1 speaker and was very impressed with that at Axpona. Well, the C3 is the larger brother of the C1. Audio Group Denmark showed two new products together, the C3 floor standard, as I mentioned, at $38,500 per pair, and the AVIC U588 one-box streaming integrated amp, which is priced at $35,000 US. The design of the speakers breaks out of the standard box mold, and the driver technology appears to be quite advanced. The sound was dynamic, with notably tight, punchy bass and open mid-range. Detail was well rendered, and there was a sense of control to the sound that is missing from some systems that do dynamics well, or systems that work on modern pop particularly well. The packaging of the amplifier means that you can practically have just 3 boxes or 4 with a TV to create a great audio system that integrates nicely with your living environment. Next, we have, this one's unusual. The Martian Audio System A&R powered horn speakers. Basil Martian showed a prototype powered 3-way full range horn design. Showing nearly complete disregard for convention, this $75,000 system includes a DSP-based crossover feeding one Class A solid-state amp for each driver in the system. The speakers themselves are very large, with corner-loaded 18-inch horn woofers and 2 flared horns for mid-range at 43 inches and treble at 21 inch. On a wide variety of music, dynamics were a cut above most, if not all, of the other displays at Munich. Percussion simply sounded real in a way that allowed your mind to move away from parametric hi-fi thoughts and toward a connection with the music. If you believe horns and or DSP can't sound right, systems like this are a great reminder to check your technical baggage at the door.
The secret to a successful sound system is its cables. At Nordost, innovative design meets precision engineering to make cables that maximize the performance of your system. Hear what your components are capable of with Nordost cables.
Next up, we've got the Constellation Revelation Series 2 stereo amplifier and preamplifier, together with the Wilson Sasha V speakers. Constellation showed their new Series 2 electronics. I think there are 15 products in the new range in all, featuring advanced switch mode power supplies that they've been working on for several years. Intriguingly, they chose to demonstrate the products from the Revelation series, which is one up from the basic Inspiration series. The stereo Revelation amp, is priced at $30,000 and the preamp at $25,000. These were feeding the well-known and much-loved Wilson Sasha V speakers, which, as a reminder, are $48,900 per pair, and this seemed to me like a good match from a pricing standpoint. More importantly, though, the sound, based on multiple listening sessions, was outstanding, with a sense of naturalness and verve that was beguiling. This is not an inexpensive system, but I sense that it might be one that a wide variety of listeners would find got the most elements right. Next on my list are the Magico S5 2024 loudspeakers with Pilium electronics. The new Magico S5, which are estimated to be priced at about $75,000 per pair in the US, debuted in demonstration form at Munich. We'd seen them at Expona, but it was a static display. The S5s delivered a level of purity that stood well above the crowd. The S5 leans towards the large size of modern speakers, weighing in at 262 pounds per speaker, and features a full array of Magico's technologies which benefit from extensive work to control resonances and to get the driver-to-driver polar performance to be very smooth. We've seen the graphs on this polar performance and they look really good, and it's one of the big challenges of multi-driver box-type speakers. One of the challenges of show listening is separating the specific demo room effects, room resonances, lack of room treatment or existence of room treatment, and of course people in the room, from the intrinsic qualities of the equipment. Purity, which we could more casually call low distortion, tends to be less determined by show conditions and more by the gear itself, though, as I mentioned, the noise level at shows makes this challenging to hear at times. In any event, I was able to hear the S5s, driven by the giant Pilium Zeus power amp. This thing is, trust me man, it's big. I heard them late in the day, and it was quite impressive in a way that is rare at shows. My next pick are the Stenheim Illumine 5 SX speakers with Nagra Classic Line electronics. The Stenheim Illumine 5 was released in SX form, including a plinth or a base, which is a massive solid billet piece, and a room control adjustment panel on the rear, allowing different bass treble profiles to suit your room. The sound was a remarkable model of civility with great clarity and detail, but also serious dynamic capability. I heard both analog and streaming sources, and both created a memorable sense of transparency that's hard to deliver at shows. The Illumine 5 SX is priced at $89,500 per pair. Then we have what kind of came as a surprise to me, the Wadex Studio Player, together with Audio Research 330M monoblock amps and Magico S3 2023 speakers. Wadex showed their new studio streaming DAC, which will be priced at $39,800. Given that the previous Wadex Atlantic reference DAC sells for over $150,000, and actually it can be configured in many ways and hit much higher price points, the studio's price point of under $40K seemed to be something of a breakthrough. Wadex uses an unusual feed-forward distortion correction circuit, along with 30 regulation stages and clocks with sub-20 femtosecond jitter. So the extreme technology of the brand continues, even though the price point is substantially lower, if not low. But so what if the sound is meh? Well, it isn't. The demo, using the also brand new, top-of-the-line Audio Research 330M mono tube amps, which I reported on separately, immediately impressed with an ease and level of detail that was a rare reminder of real music. This equipment takes a veil away from the signal in a way that's hard to describe, but super easy to hear, and I think super desirable. Finally, I want to talk about the Tidal Bugatti system. This system is quite a bit outside of our normal focus here at $465,000 all in, but we mention it because it is different and it's special. Now, the $465K price does include amplifiers and a streaming DAC front end if you're interested or even obsessed with apples to apples numbers to get a sense of value. You can also get some seductive custom finishes for extra money if that's your thing. Take a look at the pictures and you'll get an idea. But since we're here to talk about sound quality, let me assure you that this is an area where Tidal really delivers. Tidal uses some nifty tech like diamond-coated mid-ranges, yes, diamond-coated mid-ranges, and diamond-coated tweeters, plus 4 woofers per cabinet. The photos may not do the size of the system any justice. With that, I have to say that Tidal seems to deeply care about what music actually sounds like live. So the qualities of the Bugatti system involve things like subtlety and nuance and naturalness and low distortion that aren't always the focus of shows. In our simplified, rushed world, many showgoers expect, or audio manufacturers think they expect, expensive gear to deliver more, apparently meaning louder or bombastic, which is a bit like a Michelin 3-star chef charging $500 per person and then feeling forced to deliver each person a 42-ounce cut of steak dropped from the ceiling in a ball of flame as the core value proposition. Tidal has resisted this kind of thing. Not that the Bugatti system won't play loud or dynamically, but it will do so in the context of how real music sounds. We were impressed and appreciative. I hope you've enjoyed this brief coverage of a few highlights from the Munich High-End 2024 show. For more coverage, please be sure to check in the description for a link to our free weekly newsletters. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.